Om Shri Manjunathaya Namaha. To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe. Good morning to one and all present here. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this one-day national conference on resilience to reinvention, building foundations for the future. It's so important for us to have these opportunities to connect with such esteemed personalities who have accomplished so much in such short span of time and continue to do so with more zeal, becoming role models for the younger generation. I want to start by appreciating all of you for joining us this morning. Your support and presence here is indicative of the steps we have made in the right direction and of the possibilities of what could be as we continue on this path. We are delighted to have you all here to participate and share your experiences with us in this one-day national conference hosted by our institute. There is one caste, the caste of humanity. There is one religion, the religion of love. There is one God, and He is omniscience. Let us start the deliberations of this day by remembering the Almighty and pray that our association with each other continues to go. I request Ms. Neha and team, students of 2nd MBA, to invoke the blessings of God.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
Om Shri Manjunathaya Namaha. A very good morning to all you gathered here for our national conference inaugural session on the theme of resilience to reinvention, building foundations for the future. It is my honor and delight to welcome to this august gathering our chief guest and keynote speaker for this inaugural session, Mr. Umesh Revankar, Executive Vice Chairman, Shriram Finance, Bangalore. Sir is an alumnus of SDM College of Business Management and is back home after almost a decade to grace this morning's conference. Sir, we are delighted to have you amongst us as the inaugurator. A warm welcome back home. I extend a very loving welcome to our alumni guest, Mr. Sudanva B. Acharya, Managing Partner, GL Group of Companies, Puttur, who is a second-generation entrepreneur who has made the Puttur town proud by putting up his own mall in association with his family. Sudanva, we are proud of your achievements and we welcome you back home. A warm welcome to you. My words of welcome also goes out to the faculty coordinator for this program, Mrs. Deepa Nayak, who has made all possible efforts to roll out a very meaningful program of this nature. Warm welcome to you, madam. My appreciative welcome also goes out to the student coordinators, Ms. Atmi Alva and Ms. Sushma Ji. Warm welcome to you. My graceful words of welcome also goes out to all the delegates, the resource persons, students, research paper presenters, and all my dear members of SDM family. Welcome to each one of you. I would also like to extend a very loving welcome to our photographer, Mr. Kirti sir, our infrastructure partners, Frolix, our caterers for the day, Maya caterers, and all members of the media and press for always keeping us in their good books. A warm welcome to all of you. Let us all hope for an eventful day. Thank you.
I, Sushma, student coordinator of the National Conference, deem it a great privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Umesh Revankar. Mr. Umesh Revankar is the Executive Vice Chairman at Shriram Finance Limited. Mr. Umesh Revankar has 3.5 decades of proven leadership experience in the financial services industry. He started his career with the Shriram Group as an executive trainee in 1987. He has been associated with the Shriram Group for the last 35 years and shouldered various responsibilities and has worked in several key leadership roles for business operations. He has been instrumental in Shriram Transport becoming India's largest commercial vehicle financer. He is co-chairman of the industry body of NBFCs, the Finance Industry Development Council, FIDC. He holds a Master of Business Administration in Finance from Mangalore University. He also attended an advanced management program at Harvard Business School. He is a proud alumni of our SDMPGCENTRE. He is a director of Shriram Automall India Limited, Shriram General Insurance Co. Limited, Shriram Life Insurance Company Limited, Shriram Credit Company Limited, Shriram Financial Ventures Private Limited. With this brief introduction, I welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Umesh Revankar.
The success of any school is measured by the contributions of its alumni. Sometimes you meet people who forget you. Other times you meet people whom you can't forget. A teacher-student bond is such that cannot be forgotten. We have amongst us one alumnus whose achievements speak for him. I request Ms. Atmi Arwa to introduce the alumnus guests to the gathering.
I deem it a great privilege to introduce our alumnus chief guest, Mr. Sudhanva B. Acharya, who is born in Puttur. Sir completed his schooling and PU education from Vivekananda Institution, Puttur. Sir graduated with bachelor's degree specializing in jewellery management from Manipal University and post-graduation MBA with dual specialization of HR and marketing from SDMPGCENTRE Mangalore. Presently, sir is taking care of his family business, working as a managing partner in GL group of companies from last 12 years. He is married to Megha Shankar, who is also an entrepreneur. Sir has been actively involved in activities through organizations like Round Table India and Rotary Club. With this brief introduction, I place before you Mr. Sudhanva B. Acharya.
As an appreciation, I request our director, Dr. Seema Shanai, to hand over a citation and Dr. Pramila Shetty to give a memento to our worthy inaugurator of the conference, Mr. Umesh Revankar. I also request the alumnus guest, Mr. Sudhanva B. Acharya, to accept the citation from Conference Coordinator, Mrs. Deepa Nayak, and a memento from Dr. Harshita K. as a token of our delight and respect. We owe to you for being a significant part of this abiding occasion. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. It will bring the opportunity to make a difference. I now request Mrs. Deepa Nayak, Conference Coordinator, to enlighten all of us on the relevance of this conference.
Good morning to everyone present here. It gives me great pleasure to brief you all on this one-day national conference on the theme Resilience to Reinvention, Building Foundations for the Future. After 2 years of anti-pandemic struggles, as we were discussing on the probable themes for organizing an offline conference, we came across some interesting ideas. The main objective of organizing this conference was to provide a platform for intellectual minds from academia and industry to come together on a single platform and share their knowledge and research findings in the arenas of the recent developments in the field of business, entrepreneurship, and related areas across the globe. As we started researching on the themes, we realized that today's dramatically accelerated pace of digital transformation has disrupted almost every sector on a global scale. Businesses are faced with need for constant change, from economic shifts to disruptive startups and emerging technologies. No longer can companies operate with fixed solutions without risking their competitive advantage. Enterprises today are trying to ascertain what changes will enable the business to be more flexible, adaptable, and resilient. Organizations with robust systems in place have a better chance of weathering the storm, and those that are intelligent enterprises are not only more resilient but able to come out of this crisis seizing opportunities that others either could not see or could not execute on. Many businesses have recognized the importance of evolving their capabilities, but often their efforts stall and organizational fatigue sets in due to various reasons. As the impact of the pandemic intensified, business systems were tested more than ever before. Regardless of the industry, all sectors have been impacted in some way, and all businesses must adapt. This means adapting to the current challenges as well as adjusting to what comes next, a period of recovery. We are now in that period of recovery. There are lessons to be learned and applied in the current disruption to emerge stronger. This national conference was conceptualized to create an inclusive platform with corporate veterans, academicians, entrepreneurs, and corporate professionals who will deliberate and provide research-oriented findings in terms of the role of resilience and reinvention for building foundations for the future. This national conference is focused on the emerging trends across sectors of the economy. We are highly appreciative of the time and effort invested by our highly learned resource persons who have been thoughtfully selected for various sessions. We are sure that each one of them is an expert in their respective field and shall do justice to the chosen topics. The deliberations of this day shall make a new beginning, a beginning of learning and experience sharing. I wish every one of you a great day ahead. Thank you.
It is believed that Buddha had once said, if you light the lamp for someone else, it will brighten your path as well. There is no question of darkness when there is light. It is now time to light the lamp and spread light all over. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward and light the lamp. All dreams are within reach. All you have to do is keep moving towards them. Our institute publishes an e-journal by the name Journal of Maths and Academic Research with ISSN number 24554960. Now I request our inaugurator and keynote speaker, Mr. Umesh Revankar, to release our e-journal. I request the chief editor, Dr. Seema Shanaik, editor Pramila Shetty, and also other dignitaries to join. It is a province of knowledge to speak, and it is a privilege of wisdom to listen. Words are powerful motivators and bring transition in the perception and mindset of people. I take this privilege to request our inaugurator, Mr. Umesh Revankar, to kindle the fire of change in the young delegates with an inaugural address.
Good morning. Dr. Malika Janappa, Dr. Devraj, they are both my professors, graduate and postgraduate. Dr. Seema, Vivan, Sudhanmo, sorry, and Dr. Pramila, and my dear students. Very soon we are going to become qualified MBA graduates to be on the course of making a journey as a career, as an entrepreneur, as a lawmaker. Anyone ready to become lawmaker? Lawmaker means legislator, MLA, MP. And some of you may choose self-employment or services. So you may choose various field of choice depending upon the passion you develop. As you keep looking at the opportunity, as you're looking at the market, people, and how you rekindle your passion within yourself, depending upon that you may choose your field. Today we are talking, the theme of the today's discussion is resilience to reinvent for future. That is the theme. I'm talking in detail little. I'm very excited to talk to you on my experience, how we navigated the company in the difficult times. So that becomes, I want to make it more of a two-way communication to understand from you about your experience also. So that apart, now I declare this session open, and thank you all for making it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If the plan doesn't work, change the plan. Never change the goal. The key to success is to focus on goals, not obstacles. It's now time to listen to the words of wisdom from an alumni who has established himself already in the big outside world. I invite Mr. Sudharma B. Acharya to address the gathering.
Good morning, dignitaries on and off the dais, teachers and my dear students. It wasn't too long ago that I too was seated among the audience here looking forward to another national conference in my prestigious college. It's an honor to stand before you today and share my journey, talk a few words as an entrepreneur in a family business, and how the topic of today's conference has kept us on a path of tremendous growth. My story is one of challenges, hard work, and drive to maintain the family legacy and also to create a legacy of my own. Thank you for allowing me to take this opportunity to reflect upon the experiences that have shaped me. I was just an average student who did all the things that any student out here is doing right now. I had my share of fun, I had my share of ups and downs. Growing up, I was immersed in a family business environment, witnessed first-hand dedication, hard work, and sacrifices my parents made to build something meaningful. Their passion and entrepreneurial spirit ignited a fire within me. From an early stage, I knew that I wanted to continue their legacy and contribute to the success of the family business. But the turning point in my life was when my father met with an accident and he was kept away from the business for about 6 months. I was just 19 years old and younger than most of you here, and I was heading an organization where employees who were working for over 30 to 40 years were looking up to me. My journey as an entrepreneur began with a clear vision. I knew that in order to thrive in a rapidly changing business landscape, I needed to embrace innovation and adapt to new technologies. Armed with this mindset, I set out to bring fresh ideas to our traditional industry. The journey has not been without its obstacles. I faced numerous challenges along the way. There were times when I doubted my abilities, questioned whether I was on the right path. However, I realized that setbacks and failures are just an inherent part of the journey, and they provide valuable lessons and opportunities for growth. One of the most valuable lessons I learned was the importance of collaboration and building a strong team. As an entrepreneur, it is crucial to surround yourself with individuals who share your passion and complement your skills. Together, we embarked on a journey of collective success, leveraging each other's strength and embracing diversity of thought. It was a complete diversion from the path of the founders of my company, who had a more traditional and conservative approach. But also at the same time, they believed in me to bring about the change needed to survive, grow, and face all the changing trends and challenges the big corporates had to throw at us. Mind you, we were fighting to grow in a market where companies had an ad budget of more than our top line. As I reflect on my journey this far, I am filled with a sense of gratitude and fulfillment. The path of an entrepreneur is not an easy one, but it is undeniably very rewarding. I am proud to have contributed to the growth and success of our family business, and I look forward to the future with enthusiasm and optimism. To all the students over here who are wondering what they would do after their MBA, I would advise them this. Don't be fixed upon just getting a good placement and thinking your life is sorted. Whether you take a job or venture out on your own, do it with all your heart and soul. Don't do it if you don't enjoy it. Choose a line that makes you work more and achieve more instead of choosing something where you're just looking at the clock to end your day. Keep innovating and do things that make you go out of your comfort zone. If you get complacent and comfortable, there will always be 100 more people to replace you or overtake you. I will not take much of the time here. There are more people to address you and delve deeper into today's subject. Any student over here who confused what they want to do or want to know more about the journey of transforming a family business, you feel free to contact me. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to my family and my teachers here at SDM for instilling in me the values of entrepreneurship, resilience and hard work. I am indebted to my team for their unwavering support and dedication. Remember, entrepreneurship is not just about building businesses. It's about building dreams, creating opportunities, and leaving a lasting impact. Together, let us embrace the spirit of entrepreneurship and forge a better future. Once again, I would like to thank the management, teachers, students here at SDM for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your words of encouragement will always spur them into untiring productive actions. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. I invite Dr. Savita Pereira to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning, one and all gathered here. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion. I stand here today to express my heartfelt thanks on behalf of management, staff and students of SDMPG Center to all those who have made this event possible. If time is money, I repeat, if time is money, then today you have spent millions on us. Thank you for that. First and foremost, my heartfelt thanks go to Mr. Umesh Revankar, Executive Vice Chairman, Shriram Finance Limited, Bangalore. Sir, we are honored to have you amidst us and for inaugurating the conference. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sparing your precious time out of your busy schedule, and for the wonderful inaugural speech. We are eagerly waiting to listen to your keynote address too. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Sudhanva B. Acharya, Managing Partner, GL Group of Companies, Puttur, and our proud alumnus. Thank you for sparing your valuable time for your alma mater and for being a good role model to your super juniors. Thank you once again. I would like to thank our management and director, Dr. Seema Eshnoy, who have always been supportive of our initiatives and encouraged us to strive for excellence. Thank you, madam. The wheels started to roll months in advance. It would have been impossible to organize it without the efforts of the conference coordinator, Mrs. Deepa Nayak, who has been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated, dedicated student coordinators, Ms. Atmi Alva and Ms. Sushma Ji. I congratulate the trio for we have now inaugurated the National Conference 2023 successfully. Believe in the old saying, well begun is half done, and of course, we have begun well. Thank you, Mrs. Deepa, Ms. Atmi, and Ms. Sushma Ji. I thank all the honorable guests of the days for taking your precious time to attend this conference. Your presence is a true blessing to us. Thank you. I would like to thank honorable delegates, paper presenters from various colleges for your support and participation in making this event a grand success. My sincere thanks go to all the members of SDM family. All our efforts have not gone unnoticed. It is because of everyone's hard work that this event was possible. My dear colleagues and my dear students, thank you all for all that you have done. A special thanks to press and media for giving us the beautiful coverage of all the events of our institute. Thanks to photographer Mr. Kirti for helping us to capture those beautiful memories. I must not forget to thank Ms. Shaini Naveen for comparing this inaugural session so beautifully. Thank you. Once again, I thank you all. Enjoy the conference and our hospitality. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
It is now time to listen to our keynote speaker. I hand over the session to you, sir. I request the dignitaries to occupy the front seats.
Good morning. As I was thinking about the today's theme, I was just wondering what I should be speaking to you. In fact, I thought I had prepared one day before. That's yesterday. And therefore I was relaxed. I have one day and I had not kept many meetings yesterday. But unfortunately, I had to rush to Delhi and I did not get any time to prepare. So this is the kind of crisis you'll come across every day in and out. So today it's a crisis for me because I have not prepared. I do not know what I should be speaking. Then I was thinking, as trying to capture some sleep in the early morning because I reached late night in Mumbai. I had to take early morning flight. In the flight I was trying to note down something. Of course, I had mentally prepared something earlier. It's not that I was totally out of preparation. I was trying to put it on my paper. I was just thinking what happened in our life during the COVID. Because we are talking about post-COVID resilience and reinvention. What happened in the COVID? It is first 1 month, first 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. So just recollect. That will give you answer to many of your challenges and how you have overcome. What were you before COVID? What are you post-COVID? See, that is where there is reinvention among yourself. So that is something which you have to do because history repeats. Every people learn out of his own experience. Whatever we teach, it doesn't matter. All the professors, whatever are trying to explain to you, you will listen and you will pour it in the exam and forget it. But what you learn in the real life is something which you will carry. And probably you will do less mistake thereafter or no mistake thereafter. Or may do it better than what you have done in the past. Even if you have done something good, you will do much better. So, few things you try to recollect. One, how was your life then? How it impacted your character? How it impacted your attitude? How it impacted your expectation from others? And how others expected out of you? And whole day you had lots of advice from WhatsApp University. You would have read thousands of precautions, thousands of suggestions, and also some advices. So all those things you recollect now. And imagine each of the situation, how you would have dealt with them. Few examples I can give you. Everybody was wearing a mask. Everyone was carrying a spray to wash or clean your hands. Some people went to the extent of tagging plastic into their shoes. Some people went to the extent of undressing their dress moment I came from outside and put it in the basket. All those things. And one thing I have found strange is suddenly there is a lot of restriction within the home. In our home, my mother used to stay with us, and suddenly my wife became very nervous about it. Because they said if something happens to elderly people, then people will blame us. So we have to protect her. So she should not come out of room, she should not do this, because she was feeling that I keep going out and I may spread the virus across. Now, as I was getting into this lockdown situation, what happened is I had just come down from Canada and London on 8th of March, and the lockdown started, I think from 21st March, 24th March, yes. Yeah. So, I was having some cold and mild fever. My wife thought that I have already brought it. And I was putting a lot of restriction. Then lockdown happened, I did not go to office. He was relieved, at least he will not go to office. First 1 week after the lockdown, first 1 week I did not feel, okay, nobody is going to office, nothing can happen. So life is like that, no? You get into a scenario where you have nothing to do or you can't help because the world is like this. Then I realized that 1 week made me very uncomfortable. I was not getting up to the routine properly, and I had made some few calls, video calls, this, that and all, advise people what to do, what not to do, or what precaution to be taken. But something was saying that I'm not okay. Then I read an interview of Omar Abdullah, where he said, because he was in home confinement after 370, he said that after some time he realized that he is getting rusted and he is no more the same human being. So he started preparing himself for getting up as a matter of routine, because human beings are used for a particular routine. Getting up in the morning, going to the office, reading, doing certain things. And he started doing as if he is preparing for his normal journey, going to the office or something like that. By preparing himself, having proper bath, proper dress, and getting ready. I think that struck me. I immediately changed my attitude. I started getting up just like what I was normal day, at 6 o'clock. Then some reading, some meals, then having a bath, getting ready by 8:30, 9. Proper shaving and all. And dressing it. My wife wondered, mother wondered what happened to this fellow. You are not supposed to going out, but you are preparing to get out. I said, no, I want to be ready. I should feel as if I'm in the office, I'm in the work. And I started talking to the people, addressing the mail, as if I'm going to the office. So that changed my attitude very much. It helped me. See, being in a proper routine shape all the time is very, very important for everyone. Sometimes people carry their Sunday to Monday. Many of us. See, that is the problem, because you don't want to change. You want status quo of Sunday to be carried. So that's where these things helps in the life. So the next thing which struck to me is, because banks were functioning, NBFC were not functioning, because Home Ministry said all the companies, all the offices should close. Then I started talking to press. Whenever I got an opportunity to talk to CNBC and media, I started telling that NBFCs function just like a bank, and we need to open our office, we need to function. And I also put an emotional angle saying that we are depositing in NBFC and we need to service the senior citizens who are our deposit. Suddenly, the Niti Aayog, Rajiv Kumar was the head of Niti Aayog. He saw one of the interview, and then he had a call with me. Then he talked to the Home Ministry. Then he said, NBFC can function if you are depositing in NBFC. So exactly after 21 days, we were allowed unofficially, but not officially. There was no directive. I told all our officers that we will function within the restriction. I told our people that let us go and do our job the way we have, or whatever is the mask, having properly, whatever we take it and all, whatever is available. Don't give an impression to the public that your current behavior of the society, but do your job. And therefore, be a normal functioning company immediately. I was the only person from NBFC industry asking for allowing us to work. None of the other industry members were willing to do that, because most of the senior colleagues in these captains of the companies worried about their own health. They are not really worried about industry health. I was worried about it. One black spot, then entire industry gets a bad name or negative name. And that's how you, as a leader or responsible person, try to influence the market industry and take a front lead role. The second thing which I did is I told our boys, wherever we are not able to operate our office, let us meet the customers wherever is needed in medical shop, grocery shop and petrol pumps. Because these are the places there is no restriction of people coming. So that are meeting points, many of our people. Without opening office also sometimes, or without coming to the office also, we made them function from there. The third thing is, I wanted to encourage digital. Even though we were ready digitally in the demonetization or pre-demonetization, but it was not taken off. So I immediately rolled out a scheme saying that all these schemes, incentive is now closed. What was running till now is closed. The only incentive program would be a digital incentive for customer and for employees. Those people who enable digital transaction, they will get incentive. Otherwise, no. So I wanted to use this opportunity to convert the customer's behavior towards from cash to digital. See, here you are using an opportunity. It is not that I am trying to exploit the situation. I am using this for the betterment, because a digital transaction helps you to improve the productivity significantly. What we used to do, we used to go to the customer and collect cash and come back. Imagine every one of you, if you are making 3 visits, that is at the end of the day. You do only 3 transactions a day, 3 visits to the customer. If the customer leaves his vehicle outside the city and walks in to our office, make the payment and go, if you are making them understand the advantages of digital payment, then both are saving a lot of time and productivity improves. And this has become now permanent feature in our business. From a 80% cash collection company, we have become now, cash collection has come down to around 20%. 80% is either digital or bank. That is the kind of transformation we have. Because we use that particular situation to your advantage and the betterment of the customer and the employee. So, we also did not looking at customer, we also started looking at, I told our boys, wherever possible, you have access, you start engaging with the customers and community around you, because the community support is also very important, not just your customer. When I say community, I am talking about, we are mostly into vehicle financing, truck financing. The entire community we need. So free PPE kit, free the mask, or even food we supplied in North and in the Western belt. We use the help of Langa, that is Sikh community that in their this one, they have something called Langa. They are the best people, provide food. We took give their help to provide food for the customers. And you won't believe, in the first 21 days, many of our customers were stuck in between. Because every district collector has his own route. A truck could not move from one district to another district. Because they allow only up till this point. After that, another DC takes over. And he can't move. And people were without food for nearly a week or 10 days. No water, no food on the highways. I tried to use this opportunity to tell that truck is a lifeline of the country, national lifeline of the country. If a truck doesn't move, you don't get vegetable, you don't get milk, inflation will go up, there is a shortage of essentials, it will create a problem for the country. Then when I started telling this, the Home Ministry realized that they should not be disturbing the truck movement. And putting the truck drivers or the people who are operating there into in a what you call a tight situation by each district collector, because this district collector got empowered suddenly because of National Disaster Act, which was implemented by British in 1930s or 37, when there was a calamity, huge calamity drought in India, and many of these acts were enacted by the British government, and same thing is used today. See, one of the things, why I say is, even some of you choosing a career as a lawmaker is very important for us. I encourage youngsters to take up politics, because a lot of laws today are not to the betterment of the society. They were designed and they were enacted for a different purpose and different time. And today they are still having those laws which creates, it suffers the normal life of a people. So I see here that whenever you get an opportunity, you try to use it. So the district collectors were then made aware, and truck movement become easy. And I encourage the truck drivers for you to earn, because the best opportunity is to increase your earnings. And finally, our industry bounced back very fast. And today I can tell you that nearly 3 years since then, the transportation or logistics industry is doing quite well, good margins, good business, and good appreciation to their vehicles. They're quite comfortable. So the business is doing quite well. So the other things which I would like to say for employees, what we did. See, we focused on there are 4 pillars in a business: employees, customers, your shareholders, and your lenders, or if you are borrowing money. These are 4 important. And what you do for employees, what you do for customers, what you do for employees matters most. Plus, what you do with the shareholders also matters. How do you deal with the shareholders? How convince them that your business is safe, you are doing good, plus in time you need support from them. In this COVID period, we raised 4,000 crores equity, 1,500 crores rights, and 2,500 crores VIP. We said that company needs this because some of our customers may suffer. They need additional equity support. And we communicated this to our shareholders. We seek help from them, and we raised 4,000 crores. And at the same time, we also kept the dividend to the shareholders. We skipped only 1 year, one quarter, not 1/2. Normally we give semi-annually. And then dividend flow also we kept on to say that company is doing well. So, and then it comes to lender. lenders are most inflexible people. When the RBI announced moratorium, there were totally 5 months moratorium for the customers, so that they can delay the payment up to 5 months without any being called NPA or non-payment or default, which we gave to all our customers. All our customers said you take your moratorium. I will not classify you as a defaulter or delay payment. But banks were not willing to give it to us. We have to pay to bank on time, whether customers pays or not. Most of the 90% of customers have chosen moratorium, and we have to pay bank on time. Because all these NBFCs we borrow from the bank, but they were not willing to give us. But after a lot of pressure, one or two banks came forward. That also because we put pressure on the finance ministry and the regulator. But of course, we did not take it up. So the lenders are always most difficult to satisfy, especially bankers. So these are the 4 things which you come across when you run an organization or a business, or when you are an entrepreneur yourself. The other careers which you may choose to become government employee or maybe a mid-level employee in the bigger institute, they are all the safer option. You may think so, but my only request is you are trained to become business leaders. You are trained to become entrepreneurs. You need to have ambition, aspiration to do that. It's not that everyone should do it, but as most of you, I feel you should do that. And that will really help the community and society around us. Now, few things which I would like to talk about: the resilience versus business continuity. Somehow manage and continue the business is safer option than trying to be different, trying to find a new way of tackling and improve on it. So the business resilience is a bigger scope, bigger meaning. It has a more vaster meaning which has impact on the future. What you do, what your company do, what your business do for the future. So this we need to apply. So resilience does not means resisting and getting over. No, you have to understand the scope of that English word, and it is not just continuity. It is something trying to leapfrog from where you are. There are myths around the resilience saying that it's a supply chain issue, we'll address it, or it may, or we'll overcome it. It was a supply chain issue, right, during the COVID time. There's a huge supply chain issue globally. In fact, the situation was so such that China was one of the major manufacturer and producer and supplier of raw material. Entire China was shut, and because of that, goods could not move. Either raw material or finished goods could not move out of China, and it had a huge repercussion across the globe. The inflation in the US went up to 7-8%, unheard in the last 30 years, mainly because China's manufacturing, China's supply was shut. You won't believe, entire world's containers, in the ships and the train you see the containers. Most of they said around 60% of the world's containers were floating around China's sea, empty. They're waiting for the goods to come from China, and there's no supply. So that was the situation. Therefore, the inflation went up, prices went up. The petroleum product price went up because of production and supply not being there. So these are all the imbalances happen, but they are all temporary. Even though it lasted for a little longer because China's lockdown, but these are all temporary. But it is not just a supply chain issue when this situation happens. It has a bigger threat in your IT. It has bigger threat in your finance. You have bigger threat in your customer service. We need to each of this and address. Customer service, when I remember, what happened is, suddenly we could not reach to our depositors for the renewal, or if there is auto repayment, it was going back to them. But if there is a renewal, we could not do. I immediately put pressure on IT department to find a solution. And as usual, in any organization, the accounts and the people who take care of statutory requirement, they control the number. No, RBI doesn't want this, central government doesn't want this, income tax doesn't want this. They try to put restriction on the business because they want to control and they don't want any kind of a challenge. I said, I have to find a solution. If somebody wants to renew, he should be renewing online or on the message or WhatsApp. When I put pressure, within a week we found a solution that we could do renewal through normal messages. They found a way. So our deposit servicing, in fact, improved substantially during those periods. So all kind of innovation, what we could do, what we could not do for last 20 years happened in weeks, 50 days or 30 days. And today it's continuing. All those facilities which we created during the crisis, today continue. Today our depositors feel the most undisrupted service among the NBFC was Sri Lanka. Because we did not disrupt the service. We made it so smooth for the especially senior citizens, and it has been appreciated today. So the myth saying that it's only few challenges, it is not few challenges, it is a multi-challenges within the supply chain challenges. Then some people will say that it is just a risk mitigation. So when the crisis comes, you just manage, that's all. No, it is not just risk mitigation. It is an enabling opportunity. You are making an enabling and creating a new way of doing things. This organization, your individual entrepreneur need to learn from this and make it happen. And the other myth is that it is a cost. You are putting an additional cost by being cautious, by creating a lot of additional comfort to manage an event, and it is a burden on the company. It is not a burden on the company. You always need a certain mitigation or certain cushion to handle these kind of situation, a huge disruption. After COVID, now the Ukraine war created a huge disruption. Every time the disruption came, either from homegrown or from the outside, you need to be prepared. You should be always prepared, on the toes, not thinking that it's too insignificant. Because those earlier, I remember, if you asked me 10 years back, I would say everything has a cycle, everything has a pattern. Today, in the last 4 years, I can tell you there is no fixed pattern. You go to steel industry, you go to coal industry, you go to cement industry. If you go back to 20, 30 years back, you can see a certain pattern. It will grow, it will build, then after it will come down, or vehicle sales for that matter. So there was a pattern. And there was a scientific model to say that when this pattern comes. But today you cannot say that because factors which come from different regions, different areas, 2 years back, there is no software engineer available. People for coding available. There was huge crisis, and the company started hiring them like mad. You won't believe the salaries went up by 400 times. So, because they felt that you don't have people. And most of these people, IT geeks, they started demanding their own way of living. In Europe, many of them were nomadic. Nomadic means they work from the island. You don't ask where you are and at what time. I will deliver that song. And moonlighting was something maybe you would have heard, read about it. People are doing double job, triple job, you don't know. And identity theft. Somebody will be operating, giving a different identity and working remotely. All this happened. Today, suddenly that is vanished. Those things have vanished. And you will see companies like Amazon. Today I saw in Oracle, they are now reducing the staff. Or those people whom they are given the job offer, they are now declining it. Suddenly there is around, I think, if I am right, world over around 20 lakh people lost the job in the last 6 months of the year. All the big names. So within 2 years, there is a total change. So there is nothing like, you know when to handle it, when it will come. There is no pattern. You need to be ready. And you need to be data rich, data analytical, ability to read data, and you need to keep investing on that. That you do it one for one particular purpose. And it outcome not come, but you need to have it. You need to have it to manage your businesses, to manage the customers. Because ultimately, if you are in any business, whether you are self-employed or if you are a lawmaker, see, I'll tell you what's important is the relation, what you have, number of customers, the ability to hold the customer, the ability to own the customer. There's a new word people are being used, maybe not appropriate the word, you cannot own anyone. But this is very important. How many people you are able to influence, how you are going to retain them, and how you maximize your revenue out of your customers or out of your relationship. That's very important. And data plays very important role. Here, of course, we have now decided, that's the time we decided that we will merge two of our company. We had two listed companies, Shriram Transport Finance and Shriram City Union. We merged. We expanded the product line so that the product line which earlier was kept as two separate entity and data was not shared. Because you can't share data if you are two listed entity. The regulator doesn't want you to share the data between two companies, and even shareholders don't like it because it is misusing the data. So once you merge it, then you have larger database. Now we are working on data. We are able to give multi-product today. We are able to give better service, better option. We are also building a super app so that customer can choose the services digitally. That more and more customers we expect, because younger customers as they become senior, they would want to deal most of things through digital mode. So all those things, possibilities, we are looking at it and trying to improve the services. The one process which I am trying to bring it to, I was reading a book by one of the management thinker, Simon. He is talking constantly on the game theory. There are two types of gains. One is finite gain, another one is infinite gain. In the finite gain, the number of players are known and results are expected. Any sports event is finite gain. There is a duration, there is an event, You know the number of players, you know the competitor, you know the rules of the game. Another one is infinite game. Infinite game is somewhere you do not know who your next competitor. You do not know how the rules are going to change. Have a fixed time. That's infinite game. Businesses are infinite game. If you say today that I am the best, I am the number one, I have the highest profit, it is for now. That's all. You do not know. Different game. So if you are running a business, if you are a leader of the business, you should know that you are in an infinite game. There's no end result and there's no fixed success. It can keep changing, it can keep altering because you do not have control over the competition. You do not have control over the rules. So this mindset we need to develop if you want to be in the business, if you want to be a leader in the business. You have to have an infinite game mindset. That doesn't mean you should only infinite. You should also have, if you are looking into a quarterly result, then it's a finite game. You know the date, you know the number, it's a finite game. So your ability to switch on and switch off, and if you are a leader, look at continuously on the infinite game. Because, see, there are two wars that happened. One where US, two where US involved, and the other one is US, Russia, Poland. There is Vietnam War, Afghanistan War. In both, the superpower got defeated because they were thinking it's a finite game. They just go close and come back. They thought they'll win. But the opponent, they were ready for infinite game. They were not willing to walk down. They are willing to fight. The US defeat of Vietnam War after fighting for 8 years. One fine day, US decided that they can't win the war and they came back. They lost around 13,000, I think, the soldiers totally in that war. And the opponent, they lost around 60,000 or plus. But who won? Because if you have a mindset, because there is a difference between battle and war. So if you are in the business, you are in a war. There is no end. So you have to build that kind of a mindset. There is nothing like quick success. Shortcut doesn't help you. Achieving something for a quick incentive, quick benefit, quick promotion, or for a particular scheme is not going to help if you are a long-term you are what I call leader, if you want to be a leader. So this is the limited thing which I thought I would like to share with you. Do you want to ask any question? They can ask. Yeah, students can ask any question.
Good morning, sir. I'm Priyanka. So the question is, what do you think is more important, resilience or reinvention?
It's not here.
Resilience or reinvention? What do you think is more important?
See, resilience is nothing but you are reinventing yourself. See, what happens, that's what I was trying to explain to you. The resilience, if you think synonyms with the resistance and overcoming it, it's not. If you are able to do something differently and make it a long-term objective, then there is a reinvention. So when you are attacking a particular situation, you think of a long-term solution. or a better option than what it is now. So it is actually, intermingling. I cannot say that invention. You can't do an invention which doesn't qualify the resilience part of it. It has to address the resilience part of it for that crisis. Then only invention will be useful.
Good morning, sir. My name is Rachna. So my question was, when you initiated digital transactions, what was the initial response of the employees?
See, there are always employees which will resist change because they feel that I'm not sure whether the money is come or not, whether it is registered properly in the record or not. Or they say that if I'm collecting at that time, if I have no net connection, what will happen? All those things, the employees resist. But during this COVID time, resistance was not there because they could not. But when I introduced first time the digital payment, we introduced because what I told is when we collected cash, we gave SMS receipt. I'm talking about around 10 years ago. And our people were not willing to do it, saying that no, customer wants a physical receipt, otherwise he won't give cash, all those things. But I got influenced by your Vodafone advertisement. The 10 rupees, if you remember, they said you top up 10% by paying 10 rupees. Remember, advertisement, the old advertisement. I said if somebody is accepting, that if a customer is accepting that by giving 10 rupees he is getting a 10 rupees worth talk time, that means he is understanding that SMS digital transaction has some value. So I withdrew all the physical receipts from the branch one fine day. There was a huge resistance from my accounts department. I said there is only digital receipt here on after. After a protest of 6 months or 1 year, then people reconciled. But there was that's how there will be, whenever you want to do something, there will be a resistance. So for digital, there is a resistance, but not the kind what you think. Because there are people who think that if you do everything digital with the AI, ML and IoT, people will lose job. That is not correct. So that's a different, but it's different. There will be resistance. People don't want to change. But you need to convince, communicate and implement.
Thank you, sir.
The lady seems to be more bolder. I also was very shy as a student. I never asked questions to my professors. Meanwhile, I remember, okay.
Good morning, sir. Myself, sir. How can you improve one's resilience towards workspace?
Business doors?
Work. The secret for improving one's resilience towards their work.
Their work.
Yes.
So more, everyone has to do it because somebody will be setting the process and procedure based on their preference or their experience. If you are able to find a way to improve your productivity or your work by improving the process or even reducing the process, you should do it and demonstrate it. And I think that's very important for every one of us. Every one of us. Because we normally try to go by the tradition. That is incorrect. Then you are not improving yourself. That we should, every one of you should start thinking on this line. Yeah, I just remembered, in fact, when I was in SDM, SDM had no cricket team. And I built the first cricket team. Mr. Devaraj was there, and the ground above, there was a small place. I selected the team on that ground. I was playing for a club, so I was there in the market playing for a club. So only thing is, college did not have a team. So I had to select 11 people because for a team I need 11. I was not doing who's playing. Another player who was playing here and there.
Extremely thankful to our keynote speaker, Mr. Umesh Revankar, for taking time to attend this one-day conference and give us a fruitful and wonderful session. Thanks a lot, sir. We'll now break for tea for 10 minutes. Kindly move on to the pantry for tea. Others who have questions can ask sir during the tea break. The technical session begins at 11:15 sharp. Thank you.
లైవ్ ఉంది అది ఉంది pass one play.
She's the one who.